Hi there, I'm Caroline from Echolocity. Today I want to talk to you about something I'm really excited about in Microsoft Planner. When I sat down at my desk today in January, for the first time I was able to see the new Portfolios feature in Microsoft Planner. Now, this is something that has been slowly rolling out, apparently since November, but in limited releases and, gradually. So I was really excited to see it myself for the first time today. I've only seen it in demo videos before. But since I can see it today, I wanted to show you some of the features and give you some tools to start diving right in and using it at your organization. Just as a reminder, for using this particular tool, you do need a Planner Project 3 or Planner Project 5 license, or be on like a business plan that includes one of these capabilities. Otherwise, you're not going to see this feature when you look in Microsoft Planner in Teams. There is a view called the Plan view that we're going to look at, as well as a view called the Roadmap view. So let's dive right in. When I took a look today at Planner, what I saw was, in addition to my normal views here, my day, my tasks, my plans, I can also see this view, my portfolio. And when I click on my plus sign to create a new portfolio, I can go ahead and get started. So I will call this one, ABC Portfolio. And as is usual with a lot of Microsoft tools, you have the option to add it to a Teams group. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my Microsoft team that I like to use and just click Create. What it then is giving you is this view little left button called View Plans, and then the View Roadmap. So while that's loading, here we go. I had to scroll down just a little bit. This is my smaller screen view, and I get the option to add a plan. It's giving me a list of all of the plans that I could actually add to this portfolio view. So I'm going to just add a few that I know I want to look at together in this portfolio grouping. When you add a plan, you're getting this prompt telling you that it's using another app. Let me move my face, it's a little easier to see. And you'll get this prompt to, when I did it, it just asked me to connect, and I was able to connect. It may take a few seconds to actually connect to that plan, populate everything, but you can see for mine, I've got my example here now. It pulled in the overall progress from this particular plan, the start date, the end date, and this status. Now, this status option is not pulling anything from the plan. This is where you, as a portfolio manager or maybe the project manager taking a look from the portfolio view, can indicate what the status is of this project. So this is, a project I know about. I'm going to say, as far as I know, for now, this one is on track. And that's something you can obviously come back and update at any time. Let me add a couple more plans so we can see how it looks when you're analyzing some together. Getting the same prompt to connect to the plan. Go ahead and connect. And it also just gives you the message that the data will be synced at regular intervals. Again, pulling in my top level information of plan owner, progress, start date, end date. And again, this is one that I know is on track. You also do have the option here to indicate something being not started or closed. So this is something you can manually indicate that's not going to be derived from the start and end dates, just to flag that for you. Let me add one more. Connect to the plan. And it will create that connection. All right, and I've got so this is one, I think it's just a test plan that I don't have a lot of data in. Just for demonstration purposes, let's say that this one is at risk. This may be one that I've got some data for, but I know that it's at risk. So from this view of the plan, you can click on the three dots, you can open the details. You can also just remove the plan from this portfolio view. But what this gives you is a nice summary view of whatever group of projects you might want to take a look at, and the option to add this manual status indicator for the whole plan. If I then switch over to my roadmap view, what I've got is each of those plans showing up. And so when you start, you're not going to see anything for these plans. It doesn't automatically bring anything in from the plans. What you need to do is click on the plan name itself, and sorry, I keep moving my face around. Let me just get rid of my face for now. There we go. There, I'm not blocking anything. Okay. So from here, I've highlighted this project management example plan. Now I see some options here. I can add a key date or add a row item. If I add a key date, this is going to be your option to just flag a date that you know you need to keep track of for that particular project. So I'm just going to call it milestone 2. I know that's coming up mid-month on January 15th. And we'll do the status. We've got several status options here. We'll say for now it's not set. So I'll add that key date, milestone 2. Now the idea here is this is going to be something that you might be tracking across multiple projects for this portfolio. For the example, this milestone 2 could be the check-in date that they all are lining up to around a particular deliverable that impacts all of the projects or something like that. So this can be a really useful way to indicate something that needs to be flagged across different projects, even though they may not have that separately within each project. Okay, so we added a key date. We also might want to bring in things from a specific plan. So if I select a specific plan, like click on that plan, I'll get these options here across the top. There's a couple small things I can do, like move the plan up and down on the list, just if you have a specific way you want it arranged. If you click on the details, you'll be able to see just the very basic details. And the one to really pay attention to is this one right here of when this plan was last updated. It is being updated regularly, but if you're sitting and working on a plan and then looking at it in the portfolio app and it doesn't look exactly the same, it maybe just needs to be refreshed. I had that happen a second ago. I hadn't refreshed it in the last 10 minutes, and so it didn't bring in the change I had just made. But once I refreshed it, it brought it in. So the other thing you can do from here is, let me X out of this button, add a row item. This will actually pull up all the tasks you have in a particular plan, and you can add them to this roadmap view. So I might want to, let's see, looking at my dates here, I'm getting close to the due date for workshop 2, which is supposed to be January 8th. If I click update and close out of that, I now have this key task that I want to keep an eye on right here, workshop 2 deep dive. When I click on it, I just see some basic information about it, but I again have this option to actually manually set the status. If this is something that I know is on track, I'll go ahead and leave it as green, but you can also indicate one of these other levels of risk or completion. If you've got multiple things you want to be tracking on this view, not just the one workshop, but maybe I'll click into this project management, add a row item. Here I've got lots of things, and I know that I actually want to take a look. I want to have all of my top level tasks from this plan included. So if I include that, you can see it just checked off the box for everything at the top level of my hierarchy. And in this particular plan, I set it up so essentially the top level of the hierarchy is phases. So if I'm going to add all these phases to my roadmap as a way to track them, I used the quick select as a way to do that. Click on update. And now I'm getting a view, still in my roadmap, the nice left to right, but of each actual phase. And so when I click into a specific phase, I get the start and end date from my plan, and then the option to manually set what status it has. So this might be something that I know is at risk. And I can see my red line here is the date. Today is January 2nd. It's giving me the red line. And I can see that this at-risk phase is starting to get close to my milestone 2. If I'm sort of looking at the portfolio in that way, I might click into my milestone 2 and also want to change the status of that to at risk. So that's just a quick example of taking a look across multiple plans, bringing in a couple of key dates One, a milestone that I'm setting manually across all these plans so that everything in the portfolio, I'm being reminded of when this milestone date is. But also, I can manually add one task at a time from a plan, like this workshop too. If you, on any of these tasks, open up the details, you always have the option to remove it too. Down here, this little trash can. So if I just remove that, that's not going to show up on my roadmap anymore. The final thing I did was actually add a group of tasks. I added all of my top level phases from a particular plan to my roadmap view. And now that I've got that on there, I can actually zoom in and out, see where these line up on a broader calendar, and across multiple projects you would be able to see how a lot of those line up together with each other. So I encourage you to take a look at the portfolio view. Again, you need the planner or project 3 license or planner or project 5 license. And if you've got those, you should be able to see this and start being able to make use of this new feature from Microsoft Planner. Thank you.